I want to talk about an older game. It's called Five Tribes. A lot of you have heard of Five Tribes, a classic game. Ryan, have you played Five Tribes?
I've played it one other time a long time ago, but I've
Okay.
had it in my collection too. I just recently got rid of it because it was one of those games where I love it. I remember loving it when I played it, and I got it, and then it just never ended up culminating to anything where I'd put it on the table, so I sold
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I can actually see that happening with this game. It's really interesting. So anyway, Five Tribes, designed by Bruno Catala and published by Days of Wonder. And this game, it's a classic. Ever since I bought it, I've loved it, and it's been a hit with people that I've shown it with. But it is kind of a game that kind of just falls by the wayside. They do have some expansions that have come out that I think help keep it a bit fresher. But excuse me, essentially what you're doing in Five Tribes is you are trying to get points, and that's really the whole game. So that's all I'm going to talk about that. Just kidding. So in Five Tribes, there's this really interesting Mancala effect or mechanism in the game where there's a 6x5 grid of locations of tiles, and you have different colors meeples on each of them. And the game starts with 3 meeples on each, and they are dispersed randomly among the board, and each color correlates with a specific action. So what you do is you will take a group of meeples off of one tile, and you will Mancala it across the board, and you will put one final color on a tile that has the same colors, and you'll pull all the meeples of that color off. And the color that you pull off will be the action that you take. And there are certain colors associated with actions. Actions being, if you take off red, you can assassinate that many spaces away. So if you pull off 3 red, you can assassinate up to 3 spaces away, or some meeples in front of people. There's white. If you get white, you put those in front of you. They're worth points at the end of the game, or you can spend them to purchase gins or genies, which give you other special abilities. There's yellow, which is worth points, and if you have the most, it gives you more points most of the end of the game. There's blue, which multiplies points around you, and there is green, and green is helps you purchase resource cards. No, not resource cards, market cards on the top. Anyway, it ends up being like a very point salady game, which is fine. Over the years, though, I've kind of found the cards on the top, the resource cards, that's set collection, and you're trying to get different different sets of it, and you can get big points with that. Anyway, it's a great game. Introduce it to some new people. Yes, we do have the famous Derek in our chat line right now. And 3 to 4, our chat. Welcome to Friday Night Lights with Jacob and Ryan. Yes, it is 3. No, it's like 6 years old. This game has. Anyway, it is an older game for my collection, I guess I could say. But it is a classic. Older, like I'm older. It's the same. It's the same. But it's a great game. Now, so with you, it was just that one time. Had you played with any expansion or anything like that, or was it just plain vanilla?
No, to be honest with you, as you were talking about how that game played, I don't even remember playing. Like, I feel like I'm to the point where I feel like I've played Five Tribes, but I have no idea. Like, what that game you told me seemed foreign to me.
Well, what's nice, even after it's probably been 2 years since I've played it, but it was super easy to teach. It comes with super nice player mats. And 2014, thanks, Derek. Yeah, that's old. That's like 4 years old. Oh, that's what he said. Okay,
5 years old, 2019, man.
Oh, that's right. There you go. There are a few expansions. There's one expansion that brings mountain ranges in and impassable areas, and so it kind of makes it more puzzly trying to Mancala around. If you empty out a tile completely, you control it with camels, and there's other like ways to score points. Anyway, it's a great game. I highly recommend it. It's a classic for a reason. I think it's pretty easy to find still. Actually, it is still easy to find. We just bought a copy for someone who's watching our kids this weekend for $40 online. So
nice.
It's available and completely worth that price. A fantastic game. Five Tribes by Days of Wonder.
How many people did you play this with?
4.
How did the turns go well?
Oh yeah, so this in this game you bid for turn order, and your points are also your currency, and so you're spending points to actually go first. or second or whatever. And so if you see a good move, like, is it worth spending points to actually get that? But with 4, I've actually never played this with less than 4. That's not true. I've played with 2-player. It works awesome at 2-player as well. Yeah, 4 players is what we played with over the weekend, though.
Did you just you didn't play with any expansions though? This is just the core game.
No, yeah,
Okay.
it's just the core game, and I only have 1, and I feel like it's enough for me with how often I play it.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to bring this game out again with that group. It's nice. It's light. It's not a super long game. I'd say 90 minutes at most.
Not bad.
And that's with chatting and eating spring
Figurines.
rolls.
Oh.
No, it was spring rolls.
You have
They
so
brought
many game groups, but then so do I guess. But-
This is more of like it's family, and they come over specifically for games. It's a couple, and so it's usually 4 of us, and it's fantastic. Like, they're really open to games. I know ones that will kind of work, ones that won't work. It's just they're great. That's Emily and Bruce, and they Bruce is actually a good listener. He listens to a good listener. He listens to what I tell him. That sounded really creepy. No, he listens to every episode, so he's real great.
Dope.
Dope.
What up, Bruce?